very much for being here this morning. We do realize that your time is very valuable. We know that, we know and we appreciate that you take the time to come to a class that we think and learn more about what we think is going to be something very exciting. Before I start talking about Marc Leder, one of the things I always like to do if I can, and I'm going to ask Gail West and Don Muller to come up. Anytime we have a chance to see a lot of our agents, I always like for our vendors to get, a lot of times they like to say thank you for the business, so I'm going to ask Gail to come up first, and Don, and I always like to ask them to do that, because I know they both appreciate the business, and it's good having great partners.
It's great to have great partners. You all are great partners. I appreciate your business. And it's a pleasure to be here. It's great to see a good turnout, all this activity and buzz going on. So keep selling 210 home buyers warranty. It keeps me off the streets, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was short and sweet right there, I'll tell you. By the way, we had a record month last month in warranties. Come on, Don. And I think we did 130 some warranties, and our goal is 1,000 this year, so we're like at 530 or 40 or something like that. So if we can average close to 100 for the next 5 months, we'll get our 1,000 goal. So, Don, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, gentlemen. I want to thank again for all the ministers who've seen us. Hopefully you're getting all the services you need from Holly and Noel. Noel's working out of our house on the same numbers you can go with her anytime you want to. We're just too proud of them. We have just taken on a new company called United Property and Casualty, and you really need to call us and let us price some of your clients with that. We just priced a house in St. James up to date, $300,000 brand new house for $1,300, including the rent. This company has some great rates. It gives tremendous discounts based on your age, if you're retired, that sort of thing. All this kind of stuff goes into it these days. Along with the other companies we already have, we shop with all the companies to get again the best rate we can. We appreciate everything that y'all have done for us to make our agency grow. Anything we can do at any time, just call me, call Holly, call Noel. We're going to take care of the business. Y'all are our priority. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate it. Okay, I asked Marc Leder, we asked Marc Leder, I should say, David and I, to give us a little bio on him. So I'm going to read that bio. And after I read that bio, I want to share a couple thoughts about Marc, because I've investigated, I guess you might say, for lack of better words, and checked out Marc. And he knows this, by the way. We told him full well before we brought him in, we wanted to learn a little bit about him and who he had worked with in the past and some companies, so we did that. And I'm excited about him being here. So let me read Marc's introduction that we asked him to put together for us, so we would make sure that we're clear, everybody has an understanding of who Marc is, and we're excited about this. When it comes to helping real estate professionals absolutely increase their production, there's no better choice than Marc Leder. But been there, done that, still making it happen, real estate sales and training success with 20 plus years of experience. Marc has devoted decades to creating and maintaining a high-producing, high-retention sales organization across North America. He's here today to help you immediately begin making more money in less time while having more fun. We all do that. Marc is a rare breed. From the age of 9, when he started as a salesman in his family's clothing store, Marc knew he had discovered his passion. That enthusiasm for selling has continued throughout his career. As an agent, he listed more than 1,000 properties and averaged 93 closings a year for 8 years consecutively, without the help of a personal assistant. As an office owner, his tireless enthusiasm propelled his organization to one of Canada's highest producing offices. As a real estate trainer, Marc quickly rose to the top of the national rank with more than 1,500 presentations today, entertaining audiences across North America. Finally, after thousands of sales and years of training and coaching, Marc launched Leader's Choice to help agents alter their mindsets and dramatically improve their self-esteem. And I'm going to just take a comment and say that is huge, in my opinion. Thank you. Today, Leader's Choice is considered the most successful real estate training program in North America, with more than 25,000 graduates today, averaging better than a 250% increase in production. I am certain at the end of this presentation you will be wiser and more prepared for doing business in this changing environment, and very glad you shared part of your day with Marc. Now, let me just say this. Before Marc came and he came to visit with us, I learned about Marc through another multi-office broker company, the Mock Group, we call it, in the top companies in the country. And they suggested that we talk to Marc, and Marc talked to us. And Marc has other trainers, obviously, by the way, in his organization. But Marc felt the need, and we appreciated that. That was one of the key things for us, that if he's going to be here to do some training with us, that we would prefer to have him, not one of his trainers. And so Marc agreed to do that. And I'm sure his trainers are excellent, by the way. but at the same time, we wanted the top guy. That's what we felt we needed. And so, in talking with some of the other multi-office broker companies, I've got great recommendations from them. They said he's really been great for their company. He's helped their agents grow their business. Those who took his course and actually applied that course did well. As with anything, if you don't do it, if you don't apply yourself, it's certainly not going to do well. But I'm excited about some of the numbers we've heard from some of these other organizations, and I believe Mark will do the same thing for this talented group of agents. So, Mark, we're happy you're here. Let's put our hands together for Mark and welcome.
Thank you so very much. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Great. Give me a great. How you doing? Great. Give me a great. How you doing? Great. Yeah, me too. Before we get started, I want to thank Tim and Dave and all of the management and support staff for making today a success. Would you put your hands together from me to you to them and let them know? Thank you very much. Well, one more time, good morning, how are you? Great. Yeah, me too, me too. In the time that we've got together today, let me share with you what my objectives might be. I actually have 4 objectives for today's presentation. How many, please? 4. There you go. The first one is I want to have some fun. You know, I need some fun right now in my life. I'm on the road teaching, speaking, traveling, doing a ton of consulting work. And I have to tell you, probably 120, maybe 140 cities this year. And I have to tell you before I get started, I get really nervous when I have to public speak. Does anyone else in the room get nervous with public speaking? Give me a show of hands if you do. In fact, you know what they say the 3 greatest fears of mankind is? The first one, believe it or not, is public speaking. The second one is death. And the third one is dying while you're up here public speaking. But there's always been a couple of things that I've done that make me feel a little more comfortable. Can I take a moment to share them with you? Is that okay? Well, the first one is I always say a short prayer up in my room before I come to an event. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fanatic, but I do believe, and I ask for some extra help. Who knows, maybe I won't mess up too much today, and maybe I'll get to help somebody. The second thing I always do is I call home to my wife, Denise. We've been happily married now 23 years. That's good, I was 25. And I called home this morning like I always do, and I said, hey babe, how are you? And she said, fine. She said, how you doing? I said, I'm really nervous today. And she says, honey, what do you have to be nervous about? I mean, in a couple of months, you'll be going into your 20th year that you've been speaking and training. Actually, I got to update my bio. I was reminded this week that I've now crossed over 1,900 presentations I've done in that time, and spoke at the National Association of Realtors Convention several times. And last year, they made me one of their 10 featured speakers, which was pretty cool. And so she says to me, she says, what do you have to be nervous about? I said, you don't understand. I said, I'm going down to speak for Coldwell Banker Seacoast. I said, this is like speaking to the crown jewel of the Coldwell Banker in the real estate industry. How many would buy into that? The best of the best. Yeah, man. And here's what my bride says to me. She says, don't worry, honey, the audience is going to be great today. There's a vote of confidence. Go ahead and give me one of these. Yeah. When I landed last night, I always like to call home and check on my boys. And my older son is traveling with me for the first time this week. Lucas Stone, he's 18 years old. He just used to be a little mini-me, and now he's getting to be much bigger than me. But I also call home to check on my younger son. And the moms in the room, you'll appreciate this. My younger son is Jacob Nathan, and he was born in this world at 1 pound, 12 ounces. Yeah, but I'm happy to tell you he's probably well over 120 pounds today. He's got an attitude like his mother, so he's going to be okay. Yeah, no question. So when I landed last night, I called home, and or at least when we hit Charlotte, I did. And, I asked Denise, how you doing, and what's new, and what happened around the office today, and what did you and Jakey do? And she said, well, after dinner tonight, we went up to the mall and did some shopping. So, of course, to keep it interesting, you got to ask, what did you get? And she says, well, Jake picked up some new clothes for school this fall, and I picked up a few odds and ends for the house. And